And away from that, media stakeholders are calling for stronger enforcement of Freedom of Information (FOI) Act and effective compliance mechanisms. They made the call recently at the International Press Center IPC technical session on proposed amendments. Speaking, the executive director of IPC, Larry Arugodade, said despite the FOI Act being a cornerstone of democratic ideals, its enforcement and application remain weak and hindered by systemic non-compliance and legal bottlenecks.
Permit me to mention, few of the reasons why we think this technical session is important. The first is that the right of access to information remains sacrosanct, being universally acknowledged as the oxygen of democracy. In this wise, we should not shy away from measures, policies, and legislative reforms that can uphold the inviolability of that right, knowing especially that political office holders would rather withhold information than make it easily available, since they are usually more driven by the personal interest instead of the public interest. The second reason for our gathering is that there is the imperative of overhauling the prevailing reporting and compliance standards to make them more effective. The current reality is that a number of the 14 ministries, departments, and agencies of government often escape public scrutiny because their details are not usually reflected in the annual report normally submitted by the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice to the National Assembly.
On his part, the Executive Director of Center for Media and Society, CIMESO, Dr. Akebulu, highlights the challenges of implementing the FOI Act.
The FOI Act of 2011 was not just a legal innovation, it was a democratic declaration that Nigerians deserve to know how their taxes are spent, to know what decisions are made in their name, to know what projects are promised and which ones are delivered. Yet 14 years later, many public institutions act as though the FOI Act is a favor they can withhold, not a duty they are bound to fulfill. Today we are here because we must confront a reality. The implementation and enforcement of the FOI Act is faltering, and the growing calls for its amendment, whether in good or questionable faith, make it urgent that we set things right.